So anyway, I just want to mention this one thing. It was a Saturday, something terribly exciting happened to me. And you know how good it is when something happens that you know you will remember the rest of your life?
Yeah.
That only happens maybe a handful of times,
yeah.
if you're lucky in your lifetime. So here's what it was on Saturday morning. Now, I have to set the scene for you. You may have to use your imagination.
Okay.
I'm in Montana.
Uh-huh.
It's the treasure state.
Yes.
And I think probably the widest of all states.
I believe so.
And it's just hugely wide.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah. So it's 4:59, because I know this because I look at the little digital readout on the clock. It's 4:59 a.m. and I hear a noise. And I think to myself, probably the wind, and in Montana, that's always a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
So I go back to sleep for about 10 minutes until I hear another noise. And this time it's more pronounced, more defined, but yet I think, oh crap, it's 10 after 5, I ain't getting up. I'm just not gonna get up. So I went to sleep for another half an hour, and finally, I hear what sounds like somebody in the kitchen making breakfast.
Okay.
And I said to myself, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? It might be somebody in the kitchen making me breakfast. I don't recall setting it up, I don't recall organizing it, but God bless them if they're making breakfast.
Sure, yeah, sure.
So I went back to bed for like another 10 minutes because it's still not even 6 o'clock. So finally the noise becomes so cacophonous. There is so much noise coming out of the kitchen. Even if it's people making me breakfast, they're doing a horrible job of it. So I get up and I open the bedroom door and I reach around the little thing there and I turn on the light, and right in the next room is you have your living room and your dining room, and then you have your kitchen. And I open the door, and there standing in my kitchen is the largest bear I've ever seen in my entire life.
Get out. Get out of here. A huge grizzly bear.
Well, I don't know how big, but he was the biggest bear I've ever seen in my kitchen.
Sure, I understand. Okay.
So I closed the door, and he had trashed the kitchen. I mean, he pulled the refrigerator out of the thing.
Oh.
He had pulled open the bottom drawers and just twisted them like little gum wrappers.
No kidding.
He ate half a chocolate cake. He ate a dozen bananas.
Yeah.
He ate 2 oranges. He ate a peach. He chewed up the peach and spit the peach pit out into the dog's bowl.
Okay.
He ate a jar of frosting. He had 2 pouches of beef jerky. He slid open the drawers and got out some candles.
Yeah, good.
You know, for ambiance.
Well, he's...
He opened another drawer, pulled out some hot dog buns, ate the hot dog buns, and was climbing up and just kind of sniffing around, and had turned on the faucet. The water was running.
Oh, really?
I mean, he had something in mind.
Yeah. Porridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I close the door, and I call my friend Chip, who lives in town, who sort of runs everything and knows everything and is really smart and really good and a Marine, and he's the guy you want to call when you got a bear in your kitchen.
Okay.
So he says, oh, I said, yes, that's right. So it's like 40 miles from town to the house, and he gets there in 11 minutes. And so for the next 2 or 3 hours, it's me and Chip walking through the house with flashlights, and the bear gets tired eating everything, so then we see him walk down the hallway.
Oh, no.
He walks down to the hall, turns to the left, and goes into another bedroom. So I go around the corner, and I see him in the bedroom, so we open that door thinking maybe he'll come out. And so then all of a sudden we can't see him again, and I think, oh my God, he's going downstairs. Now you get a bear in the basement, you're really screwed. So I go down in the basement with the flashlight, and he's not down there, and then I come up, and as I come up, the bear is crossing from one bedroom into the next bedroom, and it's just like, oh, good morning. He goes into the bed room and lies down and goes to sleep. So now I close the door so he can't get out that way, and open the outside, but he's not coming out. He's in there asleep. So I got some lacrosse balls, and now I'm throwing the balls at the bear. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. All he wants to do is nap. So he's stretched out. The bear was in my house for 5.5 hours. So finally, Chip, my friend, the genius, he says, you know what we need? M80s. We got to get us some M80s. So he calls this high school kid in town, Brandon, and he says, Brandon, can you get out here with some M80s? So, all right, so now Brandon comes out. So me and Chip are standing in the driveway. In the meantime, the house is now surrounded by a herd of bighorn sheep.
Wait, how did that happen?
It's like Circus Vargas or something.
At your house.
I just was crazy. So now Brandon shows up, and Chip takes the M80s in, and he starts, dropping them into the bedroom where the bear is. Finally, the bear comes out. And here, let me show you what this guy looks like. Okay, this is him sitting in the bedroom. Maybe you can see. That's him. You see him in there? You think I'm making this crap up?
He is big.
Finally, he's coming out. He's decided he's going to leave the house. There he is.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he couldn't have been cuter, he couldn't have been sweeter,
yeah.
And was not aggressive and just very, very dog-like. And here he is, finally, thank God, after 5.5 hours heading for the hills. So that was my Saturday.
That's some, yeah.
But if you ever are in that situation, call a high school kid. Get those M80s. Your problems are over, ladies and gentlemen. What a day.